So as Lorenzo mentioned, this will be straightforward and a practical presentation for adult education providers and all the professionals in the field of training. And we want to give them some inputs and some hints on how to leverage on the European Union competence frameworks, in particular the ENTROCOM framework, to design and deliver training courses that are really gender sensitive, that take into account the actual need of women, and we want to suggest also how to read them through a gender lens. And of course, we think that it's important to share this methodology because we think it can be transferable and replicable also to address the needs of other target groups that, like women, can be described like disadvantaged groups because they may be because they face obstacles and barriers, for example, when accessing to business or accessing upskilling opportunities. And it can also be replicable with other competence frameworks. So not only ENTROCOM, but DCOM that Lorenzo mentioned, and others. Now, wait, that I can go on with the slide. Okay, here it is. Perfect. So the methodology, I will describe it very shortly. I mean, of course, the DEW partners, before developing the training, started with the needs assessment, carrying out a primary and secondary research, both at national and EU level, trying to understand which are the updated training needs of women entrepreneurs, both potential and existing women entrepreneurs, after the COVID pandemic and all the effects that it produced in the field and for women in particular. And after collecting and analyzing all the data, we try to link the training needs that came out with the training areas and training and competencies of the ENTROCOM framework in order to identify the topics of our training modules and the respective learning outcomes. So the ENTROCOM framework, I remind to those practitioners that are not so familiar with this tool, is the reference framework developed by the European Union, by the Joint Research Center of the European Commission, to describe the entrepreneurial competence, what it means to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And it can be used like a supporting tool for trainers and educators, for example, for the designing training training and also assessment tools that can be based on precise descriptors, indicators, and it can be also harmonized at EU level. Of course, there are so many resources to delve into this framework if you are interested to do that. Now we will try to see how we will show you how the DEW partners wrote this framework through a gender lens. First of all, we collected the finding of our secondary research, and we saw that there was a mismatch between the perception of the training needs for women entrepreneurs and the actual training needs. Because according to the WE Barometer, that is an official survey of the European Commission targeted at women entrepreneurs, and it is the only pan-European survey of this kind available at this moment, we found out that women are perceived to have major training needs in financial management and control, business plan and organization, fundraising, investors relations. But when we look to the area where they register major lack of skills, we see these three dimensions. So yes, first of all, the fundraising and investor relations, but then the information technology, and this proved the relevance of the DEW project at that moment, and the internationalization of the business activities. So this mismatch, the lack of financial management and business plan dimensions within the areas where they registered a major lack of skills, can be also explained through by the lack of self-confidence that these women still suffer, the women entrepreneurs. And it is confirmed also by the fact that when they list the enhancers prefer, they always mention self-binding and empowerment programs. And this is a thing that does not happen with men, for example, with men entrepreneurs. This factor was confirmed also by the findings of our primary research when we asked women entrepreneurs across Europe which are the 4 most important skills that female entrepreneurs should have in a post-COVID digital world. Among all the, between all the competence of the ENTROCOM frameworks, and they mentioned it, first of all, the self-awareness competence, and then followed by the motivation competence. So that are both strictly linked to the need for major self-confidence. Then they mention also the planning and management and the financial literacy that, of course, we tackled in our training module. And then at this point of the analysis, at this point of the project, we had all the elements to start building our training courses and modules. Starting from the results of the research, we took the ENTROCOM framework and we went through all the areas of the framework, starting from the resources area. And first of all, we started selecting the competences that we wanted to tackle. First of all, we selected a self-awareness competence since we wanted our learners to really trust in their own ability to generate value in order to address the issue of lack of confidence that came out from the research. But we wanted to bring that our learners reach a more advanced level. We wanted them to reach a more advanced level of this competence. So we wanted them to be able also to recognize strengths and weaknesses and to compensate for their weaknesses by teaming up with others. So under the label of the advanced level of this competence, we found out, we identified one of the learning outcomes that we wanted to generate through the due modules. And we follow the same ratio when selecting other competences. So the motivation and perseverance, and the financial and economic literacy competence. The first one tackled, for example, in the entrepreneurship module of the due training. The third one tackled by the financial literacy and business literacy modules. Then we looked also to the results of the secondary research, and we decided to select also the mobilizing others competence. So for this reason, you will find the difference in colors within this table. So these are the ones that came out also from the primary research. These were based on the results of the secondary research. The mobilizing with others, why did we select this? Because we saw that at EU level, women used to run small businesses. The percentage of female-led businesses that can be considered high-growth businesses that need the support of many employees, or the support of the investors in order to grow, is a low percentage compared to male-led businesses that fall under this category. Of course, this is due to a lot of structural factors that can be social, economic, cultural, that cannot be tackled by the due project and the training and support system alone. But of course, what we can do is to unlock these unexploited resources like the support of investors, or like the possibility to hire more employees. So mobilizing all these categories, all these resources. How we can, and we can encourage through upskilling process, we can encourage women to unlock the resources, to work with them. And so, for example, we want them to, we want to aspire, we want women entrepreneurs to be able to aspire others and get them on board. So we bring them to the advanced level of this competence. The same reasons stand, the same reason, for the same reason we decide to pick up also the to select also the working with others competence and the coping with uncertainty and risk competence. So another important aspect is that the DEW project is about, how Lorenzo mentioned it at the beginning, is about digital skills, digital tools. So when we look to these indicators, to these capacities, in the modules, we give women a set of the digital, we provide women with a set of digital tools, resources, and new digital skills to reach this level of the competence. So, for example, in a managing digital teams module, we say them how to build, how to widen their team and build networks, exploiting, of course, the digital resources that are available right now, and improving their digital skills in this particular sector. Then going on with the selection of the competences, of course, we also tackled the planning and management because it was among the top 4 selected by the women, mentioned by the women that we surveyed. And then within the ideas and opportunities area of the framework, we decided to select the spotting opportunities and creativity competence. Well, because we thought that through digital skills, through digital resources, women entrepreneurs can really excel in those 2 competences. In particular, when it comes to spotting opportunities, we thought to not only economic opportunities, but financing opportunities, because we registered an issue on that women more than men, women entrepreneurs perceive to have difficulties when accessing information about financing opportunities, about entrepreneurship support policies. So we wanted them to be able to spot these opportunities through, of course, digital resources that are available at your level, but are very often unexploited. So this is the end of the presentation. So I think that now it's time to see how all these mapping process, these theoretical background and analysis brought to the implementation of concrete results of a concrete training course.
Thank you, Francesca. I think one element that you also provided us with is the learning outcome approach. And this is something that I should have mentioned at the very beginning. All over the implementation of the project, while developing the training courses, we always had a very strong focus on what are the learning outcomes, what are the intended learning outcomes for our users. And so this is the process that is also highlighted in the guidelines of the CEDEFOP on how to develop training content and training courses on the basis of learning outcomes. And this is very important because it also gives us a sense of how, over the implementation of the project, we have been using all the relevant tools made available by the European Commission. So the learning outcome approach to developing training content, the EQF levels, all the different aspects of how to use the entrepreneurship competence framework and the digital competence framework. So this is very, very important. And I thank Francesca and, of course, the team, the entire team of IDP, together with the consortium,